to the Patriot Torch. This is Marco Amaya, and I need to talk about mind control and how much people are being mind controlled right now in so many insane ways that I just have to break it down for everyone that may not understand it, and also just kind of just talk about it, because we've got a situation here with these riots that are happening, that are really infuriating, because these are people turning into wild animals that are wanting to destroy businesses and destroy innocent people as a response. They're protesting the violence, right, that against George Floyd. They're protesting violence by creating more violence and attacking innocent people. They're becoming what they say they hate. They're essentially brainless idiots. They're just zombies. They're just told what to do. And of course, and I was talking about this with one of my friends, saying these could be paid instigators. That's what it feels like. Because when you think about it, it's not even a sane thing to do. Like, why would you just protest and by, it's not even a real protest. A protest is you have to make sense. You have to speak. You have to, rallies, whatever. But attacking people is not a protest. That's just looting and being a criminal. That doesn't mean anything. That just makes people hate it even more. Hate it's not good for the protest. It's not helping the protest. You see what I'm saying? Like, because obviously, yeah, there's police brutality, sure, but you're just creating more brutality of a different form, and then now someone has to protest you for being a criminal, because now you're killing, hurting innocent people. I just saw a video of a guy defending businesses, and there's a bunch of crazy lunatics that start attacking him and punching him and kicking him like animals. And the guy is just totally unconscious, bleeding like on the floor. It's just absolutely outrageous what people are being mind controlled into. And there's a reason why the media only promotes the mainstream corporate controlled media that's used to mind control the masses. They only promote the stories that show white people killing black people. They don't show the stories of black people killing white people and Hispanics killing black people, or black people killing Hispanics people. And every combination you can think of happens because there's hundreds of millions of people in this country. And there's tons of stories, tons of crimes, and I've seen them. But if you're a gullible person that just watches the mainstream, whatever Google frickin' tells you, articles, then obviously you're just going to believe the mainstream lie, because you're not seeing the different perspectives. They're giving you a tiny little perspective that they want you to see. They only show you the white people killing black people to create a perception that white people are here to kill you. And then they have celebrities that are completely just ludicrous, out of their minds, like LeBron James tweeting out and telling people that white people are hunting black people down, and it's just like, no, that's not. See, when you say stuff like that, you're just creating fear of something that's not there. You see what I'm saying? Because when you see the whole picture, the big picture is that there's black people killing white people. Race is not an issue. There's all kinds of things happening right now. The perception they want to create is by only showing you one thing to deceive you. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not. There isn't white people. There isn't some group of white people walking around killing black people. That's not what's happening. What's happening is mental illness. You have a crazy person, like crazy cop abuses the criminal, right? Or you could say innocent person. I don't know. I don't even know. Regardless of the fact, George Floyd, apparently was committing a crime, and then the cop did something even worse. Is what it seems like is what happened. I can't really trust anything the media tells me anymore. But he does look like he totally abused the guy by putting his knee on his neck. Totally unnecessary. since the guy was already arrested. That's a messed up cop. You see what I'm saying? It's not the real headline should be insane cop kills man that's was like an unarmed man, right? An insane cop abuses an unarmed man or makes him or kills him or makes him pass out. But the main thing they want you to focus on is the skin color, because it's all part of the mind control programming of making you think it's all about race war, to cause a race war, cause civil war tensions in this country, to divide people, because they want to divide people so that we can't come together and realize who the real enemy is, which is the people creating these perceptions and ideas to control your mind. It's a real psychological operation, and if you don't understand the psychological operation, you're the one that's being psychologically operated on, because that's what they literally are doing. It's so obvious. It's like I have to explain that the sky is blue. Obviously, they're creating a perception by only showing you one side of the story about everything, because they could easily take any story they want in the whole country and say, oh, look at this big story, but they only show the ones where white people are killing black people. Then they can control your perception of what's happening, because if you're the gullible one, that's all you think is what's happening, because that's all they show you, right? And then that leads into my point about censorship. The whole reason they want censorship and they're banning people and banning posts on social media and banning people altogether are people that are questioning the narrative, questioning the official story, questioning why they're doing these things, and then exposing their censorship of the truth, right? Those are the people that get banned, because they can't have you realize that you're being lied to. They don't want you to realize there's knowledge that they're hiding from you, because then their whole deception, falls down into pieces. Then you won't believe anything they say anymore. See, that's what happens when you wake up, when you actually wake up. You question everything you're told. You no longer just go with whatever Google freaking tells you and whatever the first links are, because that's crap is the same. CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, they're all working together saying the same exact bullcrap. That's all they're doing. And all these organizations, right? They're all hiding information from you. They're very limited in the scope of how they describe things. And that includes Fox News. These are all the mainstream corporate media. Like the majority of it, 99% of it, is just completely just watered down. They won't tell you the real truth about what's happening. That's what's happening. Now, people on social media, the reason why social media is important is because most people get information from social media. So when Trump comes out and signs an executive order saying we can't, these companies can't see censoring people, the mainstream media hates that, because that's the way that people share information and circumvent the controlled media paradigm that's telling everyone what the reality is. Because then I can talk and I can tell you my perspective that they don't want you to know about. That's the way it works. And Trump thankfully understands that and is actually fighting for us, so that because we've been being censored like crazy. My own posts get banned, and I'm not even well known. It's happening to a lot of people. Some of the most famous people are the ones getting completely banned, deleted, like David Icke and Alex Jones. But those people are very important because they're the ones questioning the narrative. And when you no longer believe what you're told all the time by the authorities, that is exactly why they ban you, because they don't want people questioning and stepping out of line mentally. And because once you step out of line mentally, then you can start thinking for yourself. You can start saying, no, they might be wrong. They might be lying to me. Let me find the real truth for myself. But the gullible people of the world are the ones saying, tell me what the truth is. I don't want to figure it out for myself. You tell me what the truth is, so I can be lazy and intellectually lazy, and that way I don't have to do any work. and you can tell me what to do. Because they grew up in a society where they were the children that originally were healthy and saying, oh, why am I supposed to do this, Mom? Or why is it like this? And why is it like that? And why, that's why kids ask a lot of questions. But if they're conditioned over and over again by their parents by saying, just listen to what I'm telling you. Don't question me. I'm your mom. I'm your dad. Just do what I'm told. Do what you're told. Then they become these stunted development situations where now they feel like they can't ask why, they can't question things because otherwise they get in trouble, right? So then they grow up turning into this adult that literally doesn't question anything because they've been told over and over again in school by their parents, by the whole education system, not question anything and just accept what you're told. So then they believe there's an authority above them telling them constantly what to do, right? And they think that's the way you're supposed to be a good citizen. That's not how it works. You're just being a slave, mental slave. You're an order follower. And when people are order followers, that's what destroys society and turns them into slaves. Because if you're not questioning what you're being told, you're the person that's going to be carrying out the tyranny to humanity. Okay? Because think about all the people in the past in tyrannical regimes like Nazi Germany. There's a lot of people carrying out orders. They just do it because they're told. They don't even question if it's right or wrong. They're just like, oh, the authority told me, so I have to do it. They're just stunted development. People that have no sense of their own responsibility of figuring out the real truth. They just want the fact checkers to tell them what to believe. They're your children. They don't want to figure it out for themselves. That's what this whole paradigm of these fact checkers on Facebook and all this, all that's meant to do is to tell you what to believe, and then they're the ones that are gods that know all the truths, and that's why they can label you as misinformation if you question anything they say, because you're supposed to obey the World Health Organization, because apparently they're gods, and they all know the truth because they're credible sources. Yeah, credible sources, my ass. They're just completely corrupt human beings. They lie to you all the freaking time. They don't even know what their own lies to. They don't even agree with their own lies. They came out. They said in January that the coronavirus can't even be spread but from human to human. Now they're saying it's the worst thing in the world and everyone's gonna die, and all their numbers are always incorrect. There's not even, you know what I mean? Like they're constantly switching their fake story around, and then here we are supposed to believe all their credibility. Like bull crap. And then now YouTube says, oh, if you disagree with what the World Health Organization says, then you're going to get demonetized and banned. It's like, okay, there's obviously a tyrannical regime going on here trying to tell us what to believe. And then all of that goes into the same thing with, it's always the same people behind all of this stuff. With the mainstream media, with the social media monopolies, spreading the same information, the same perspectives. They want you to believe in that white supremacy is oppressing you, which is complete BS. It's all BS. There's no such thing. They want people divided in every way possible: religion, race, gender. That's why there's these movements created by the mainstream media for you to fall into. For example, when it comes to gender, feminism, right? Feminism that tells women to hate men and that men are pigs and there's a rape culture and all this crap. It's just to divide men and women. Religion, you have people fighting over different sects of religions between Christianity and Islam, and Islam hates all these other religions and kills people, and it gets extreme. And I'm not saying all of them like that, but these religions are fighting against each other. It's a way that people are divided. Then you have the races, obviously the big thing, because now they're saying they're saying that, oh, black people are being oppressed by white people and white people are hunting black people down, which is complete crap because I never see that anywhere. It's just complete garbage. And then they just, of course, but they show you the a couple cases where the white cop kills the black guy, so that automatically means it's all about race. It's all, you see what I'm saying? That's how they control people. And the whole point of that is so that we're all divided, so that we can't stand up and realize that we're all together in this, and that there's an actual enemy that's trying to dominate all the people with all these divide and conquer strategies. in every way possible, and then this whole social gathering crap, or where now you can't even gather with people because you're supposed to be afraid of all your neighbors because they can give you a disease that's going to kill you, even though it's a fake disease, it doesn't even exist. So they're constantly controlling you with fear. That's how they gain more power and take your rights away, is by creating a fearful situation. White people are coming to kill you, and there's a virus that's coming to kill you, and basically the only way to be safe is by staying in your house and doing nothing, and you can't say what you want to say, otherwise you get deleted on Facebook. And they want you to turn into a freaking little person in the corner, cradling with your head like this and just sitting like this. They want you to be a freaking slave, a mind slave, and that's obviously, that's not the life I want to live. Screw them. I have rights, man. I was born with rights. I was born to speak. I was born to share things with people and interact with people. And I was born to say whatever I want to say. And you don't have to listen to what I say. You don't have to ban me. You don't have to censor people. That's completely ridiculous. You just don't listen to them if you don't like them. It's called free speech. It's something we were born with that God gave us. Rights, that's something that people have to understand. Rights is a natural part of natural law. God created the laws of the universe. That's why there is a universe. He is an intelligent design that also includes your freedoms and your rights. And there is a actual morality encoded into reality. Okay? So people don't understand that. They think that rights come from human beings. Rights don't come from other human beings. You think free speech is something that other humans gave to you by writing it down on a piece of paper and calling it a law? That's not how it works. The laws are simply there to enforce what we already have as rights. That's what a good law is. Obviously, there's bad laws that tell you that you don't have these rights and they take it away from you. But that doesn't mean it's actually taken away. You don't have to listen to laws. Because the laws, at the end of the day, God's law trumps all laws. Because God's law cannot be changed. Man's laws are always changing all the time. You don't have to listen to laws that tell you to force you to take vaccines or force you to shut the heck up or force you to do anything. Because at the end of the day, you're not under some kind of insane thing where some other person gets to tell you what to do. You're not going to let your neighbor tell you what rights you have. Right? Your next door neighbor is not going to tell you what rights you can and can't have. So why are you going to let some other person in some government structure that we've created to tell you what you can and can't have? It's bullcrap. It's bullcrap. So there you go. So that's my message today. And there's probably more that I probably want to talk about, but that's pretty much it. I'm going to conclude it right there. And I'll see you in the next one.